Okay, let's go. Smile. It's beginning of the week. All right, so we're going to take that ball and we're going to place it at the very bottom of our spine. And then give it a little flick of the wrist so it's not completely down on the mat, it's right there. And you're going to lean back into your ball, and your hands will go behind the thighs. Melt the shoulders and let your back just sink into that ball. So, of course, my core feels like it's working because I'm in a flexed position here. So I want you to always hold an apple under that chin, and we're going to just give a little curl up and then back. So I'm not leaving the ball. I'm not letting my head drop back. I'm keeping my chin towards my chest. I'm relaxing my shoulders, and I'm putting the work into my core. Okay? So, and I know I said lift up. That was my first cue. But now that I have you moving, I want you thinking pressing in, not up. So I'm taking my upper rib cage towards the bottom. Does that make any sense? And I'm going to exhale as I lift. And 3, and 2, and 1. Now take your back hand towards me. So I got 2 hands to my front thigh. I still have my hips and sitting bones anchored. I come up an inch and back out. So my arms will soften, they'll lengthen. They'll soften, they'll lengthen. I exhale, I inhale. Now, if you think you don't need this support, you would take the hands together and reach it past the outer knee. And we go 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. To the other side. I rotate that torso slightly, and I curl up, and I lengthen back. And I curl up, and I lengthen back. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. I go 4 more. And again, if you don't need that support, hands go together. And we reach the outside of that knee. Here's 2, and 1. Back to center and sit up. Slide that ball now up to the middle of your back. And then we lean back. And this time, before I start, I'm going to lift my hips up and place them back down. Hand over hand behind the head. Elbows are out wide. 1 fist width between my thighs. This one here, I'm going to start to go over my ball. Now, if you suffer from vertigo, you don't take the head below the heart. And then I'm going to bring it back up. Does anybody else's back crack? And we inhale over. Exhale. So here's what's happening. Here, as I go over my ball, I'm stretching the front of my body. When I'm coming back up, I'm strengthening the core. The breath is inhale over and exhale up. You want the same speed going over the ball as coming up from the ball. 2 more. We inhale over. We exhale up. And 1 more. Inhale over. And now we're going to hold this one up. I'm going to tabletop my back legs, the leg furthest from my screen. Hold it right here. So my knees over my hip and my shin is parallel to the floor. I'm going to tap those toes down as I go over my ball and curl it back up. I inhale over, exhale. I'm on that same leg. Here's 3, and curl it up. And here's 4. Breathe, exhale. I inhale. Here's 5. Shh. We're going to go to 8, 6. Way to warm up that center. Here's 7. We've got 1 more. And we're going to hold it right here on this tabletop. I'm going to reach that leg long and bring it back to table. I inhale. I exhale harder. I'll reach my arms and then come forward. I reach my arms back and I come forward. And I have 4 more. Watch that head. And 3. I'm not moving up and down that ball. And 2. And 1. And place the hands back behind the head. And we'll stretch over to give a little release in that center. And then exhale, bring it back up. Now the opposite leg, closest to the screen, is gonna lift up. And we're gonna tap down as we go over and curl up. I don't know about you, but my core is talking to me right now. But we gotta get through this. We gotta get 8 here. We don't go faster to get through that. We always watch our form, has to be precise. We've got 4 more. Draw it up. Good. 3 more. Hand crunch. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to hold this one up, and we're going to press that leg out and table. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Good. 4. You only have 4 more to go. And here's 4. And here's 3. 2 more. That belly scoops in deeper as that leg goes out there. Place that foot back onto the mat. Stretch back over that ball. And if you want, I'm going to let my arms drape out to the side and completely let my body go over that ball. If that's not for you, don't do it. Breathe. Let the shoulders relax. Now take the hands back behind the head. Draw that chin to your chest. Curl back up. Hands go back behind those thighs to sit us all the way up. Now we're going to slide that ball again higher. So now it's going to be at the tippy top of your shoulder blades. Way up here. Okay? And then come back down. Okay, so again, my head has nothing to rest on. I need to keep it in flexion, right? If that's not cold for you, get rid of the ball. All right, hug these knees in. A little bit of a break here. I'm going to zip my legs up, take my hands behind my head, and try to feel like you're pressing these knees against a wall. And the toes are reaching long, and I'm in my Pilates V. Now you can continue with the breathing with your hands behind your head if you need support. I'm going to transition to the 100. I'm going to reach my arms long. I'm going to start to pump. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, here's 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 20. I feel my muscles by my armpit firing. I feel the back of my upper arm firing. Of course, my core is firing. Here's 40. If this is not challenging for you, you can start to drop those legs further away from you. But you better be careful. Don't be holding those legs up from the hips. Be holding them from the core. Is anybody keeping track? No. Okay. Of course, yeah, 80. No, we're not there yet. I'm going to say this is 70. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you'll learn to count for me. Inhale. Thank you for your honesty. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Hug it in. And then lengthen your legs in Pilates V. And I'm still curled up. Okay. So I'm going to do another stretch. I'm going to stretch over my ball. That's an inhale. Exhale, nod the chin to your chest. Now there's a lot of options here. This is the one I'm going to choose first. I'm going to reach for my toes. Now, if you move slow enough off your ball will stay where it is. So I'm going to slowly start to come off that ball. And I'm going to curl up and over. And I'm reaching, I'm scooping. Now stay in this shape. Scoop your belly deeper. Melt the shoulders. Tuck your tail. Is your ball still there? Let's find out. Maybe half. I'm going to go over my ball, what's left of it. Circle my arms if we have room. Draw the chin to your chest. And slowly come off that ball. Good. And then we inhale to come back. Now I know mine's off-centered, so I'm going to bring it back where it should be. There we are. We're going to go over that ball. Circle those arms. Draw the chin to your chest. Pause. Now barely come off that ball. Oh, my abs are shaking. And it's come up and over. And then stay inside this canister, meaning don't poke up like this, right? We're going to stay rounded as we come back. Melt those shoulders. Tuck your tail. Find that ball. Stretch over. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Just start to come up Scoop that belly, exhale. So as I'm going forward, my belly should be pressing back. There's always opposition. My arms are parallel to the floor. Yep. Now from here, don't move your lower back, but zip up, zip up, zip up into that diagonal. And then C-curve back into that forward position. And then zip it up one more time. I'm not using that lower back. I'm using my core to come up. And then I'm going to round it forward. And then melt back, nice and slow. 7, 6. Melt those shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going to stretch over that ball. Circle my arms around. Hold right here. My fingers are reaching for my toes. Slide those feet towards you and hug those shins in. That wasn't so bad. Good. Then I'm going to rock myself up into a balance. I'm going to balance. I'm going to reach back and grab that ball. Place it underneath my feet. Let's roll it out so my toes are on it. And I want you to kind of rock yourself forward until your shoulders are over your hips. My chin is to my chest, and my belly button is pressing back, and just my toes are on in my Pilates stance. So don't move your spine at all. Roll that ball out. The inner thighs will squeeze. The belly is scooping deeper. And then from the back of your legs and your core, draw it back in. So don't be like, well, I could do 120 of these. I want you to really focus on the length, the scoop, the wrap. Bring it back in. Here's the breath. Inhale. Scoop that belly away from those toes. Exhale. And one more. Lengthen, 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 and scoop. Now take the hands behind you, and I like to press my knuckles into the mat, but you can do flat palms if you want. Whatever it's going to do to get you nice and tall and the shoulders back. Okay? And I'm going to press out for 2, and then draw it in for 2. Slouching is not an option, and shoulders to our ears is not an option. We grow taller, we inhale, we exhale. We inhale out, exhale in. 2 more. Reach it long, pull it in strong, and 1 more. Now, if you feel you're going to sink into your lower back, if you take your hands away, keep your hands there. Otherwise, I'm not going to sink. I'm not going to sink. And I'm going to press out. I grow taller and then pull everything in to come home. And I inhale out, exhale in. Inhale, inner thighs. Exhale. Now hold it. Now this time you're going to twist away from the screen, and the arm away from that screen is going to lead that twist. I'm going to follow it, and I come back home. And now your screen arm is going to twist, and I'm going to grow taller, 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 and then come back home. No leaning. And we inhale, squeeze those inner thighs. Exhale to come back home. And inhale, twist. Exhale, center. And I rotate, grow taller. Come back in. Last one. Inhale. To exhale. Now grab onto your ankles. Chin goes to the chest. Scoop the belly deeper as we lengthen those legs out. Just roll that ball out. And then pull your torso closer towards those thighs. Reach the arms long. They're not on my ankles anymore. I'm going to start to roll back halfway. Now I'm going to adjust my ball so my ankles are more or less on top as well as my heels. And I'll come down the rest of the way. 4, 3, 2. Now stretch the arms behind you for a second and let that back just arch, do its own thing. And then I'm going to bring my arms back up and then lower them all the way down to the mat. I'm going to take my leg furthest from my screen and draw that knee into my chest. And I'm going to tug that knee towards me. Just get a nice little release and stretch for the hip flexor. Gets my back nice and heavy. Now grab onto your ankle with those 2 hands. Don't move your quad, but zip that leg up for 2. And then bend it back down where you started. So when you straighten that leg, I don't want your leg going out. I want it to stay right where it was. Okay, inhale, exhale, one more. Let's hold it up. Rib cage is heavy. Arms go down to your side. Turn that kneecap away from you. Put a bowling ball on your torso and that circle towards your midline and then straight up. You guys give me 4 more while I check that connection. And we round and come up 3. Inhale, exhale 2. And inhale, exhale 1. Now, can we reverse that? Let's go away from our center and bring it up. And away from the center and bring it up. And around 2, come up. And 4, and come up. And 1 more, 5, and come up. Can you hug that knee back into that chest? Yes. And then put that leg back out onto that ball. All right, so my other leg, closest to my screen, hugs in. All right, now don't move the quad. Grab onto your ankle, and we're going to zip it up. Belly goes deep. Oh, there she is. And come back down. And do that again. Straighten that leg, and bend that leg. And straighten that leg, and then bend that leg. We got 2 more. We lift it up for 2, and down for 2. And last one, I'm going to hold this one up. Hold this one up. All right. So now we're going to let go of that leg. The kneecap is turned away. And if you can't get the knee over your hip because the hamstring is too tight, just soften that knee, but make sure the knee is over the hip, okay? So arms are to your side, and we're going to circle across the midline and up 1. And inhale, exhale 2. Round to come up 3. Inhale, exhale 4. 1 more. Don't let the rib cage move. It's nice and heavy. Reverse. Hips are anchored down. Pelvis is anchored down. What do you do if that pelvis can't stay still? You make your circle smaller. Breathe. Inhale to initiate. Exhale to complete. Last one. And I hug that knee in. Get a nice stretch. And then take both feet out onto your ball. I'm going to grab onto my weights. And I'm going to hold my weights up over my chest and my palms turned in. And don't get caught with your shoulders up here. They need to be down here, okay? All I want you to do is roll the ball in, bend the elbows for triceps, press the ball out, press the arms up. We inhale down. We exhale out. And again, I want your back to be in one position. I want the shoulders to be on the mat. And when you bring that ball in, I want you pressing from the back of the legs and the core to bring that ball in. Inhale, exhale. Bring it in, take it out. And we go 4 more. And 3, roll it back out. And 2, roll it out. And 1, keep the arms up, bend the knees, and take the feet directly on top of that ball. Good. Now I want you to turn the palms to face forward. A chest press. We're going to bend the elbows and press the arms up. And as my arms go up, my belly goes in deeper. Inhale to exhale. Inhale. Opposition, those arms are going up, my belly's going down. Good. 4 more. Don't forget the breath. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Elbows down, chin to chest if you want to lift your head up. So I'm going to cue right and left here. So take your right knee or right foot off the ball. Knee goes in towards your chest. Reach those arms parallel to the floor. Palms are up. So I've got knees are bent, 1 foot on the ball, 1 foot off the ball. So don't move the arms yet, but I'm going to roll that ball out. My other leg stayed still. Now, as I bring my ball in, I'm going to press my other leg out. And I bring it in and out. Now, when my ball leg goes out, I'm going to curl into a bicep. And then as the ball leg comes in, I'm going to lengthen. Bicep, lengthen. Bicep curls, lengthen. In and out. In and out. I go 4, watch your neck. 3, give me 2 more. Here's 2. Here's 1. And release. And place 2 feet back on that ball. All right, so the opposite leg is going to stay on the ball. And the opposite leg will go off the ball. So I made that switch. I'm going to nod my chin to my chest. Yay. Arms reach long. I press that ball out. I bring it in. So I get those legs moving first. When my ball leg goes out, I bicep curl in. Opposition. 2. Good. 3. If your head is lifted, you got to have those shoulders off the mat. Eyes to the belly. And we go 4 and 3. Good. And 2 and 1. Roll the ball out, head down, release the weights. So I've got a Pilates stance on my ball. My heels are on top, a little bit of my ankle, and my arms are pressing into my rib cage right next to my side. So we're going to do a straight-legged bridge. I'm going to lift up my hips, press the back of my arms into the mat, and then bring it back down. And try that again. Scoop that belly, wrap those thighs, shoulders heavy, bring it back down. I'm going to inhale on the lift and exhale as I lower. Back of my arms must be my anchors. Shoulders are heavy. Good. 2 more. Wrapping those thighs, squeezing your seat. Come back down. And 1 more. I lift up and I come back down. Now think of your frog legs. My knees are going to separate. My heels stay kissing. Draw that ball in. Press it out. Now stay out. Bridge up like we just did. And lower back down. Back of my legs are bringing it in with my core. I press it out. Everything in the front of my body opens. Everything in the back of my body strengthens. I inhale to exhale. I inhale to exhale. The back of the head is gently pressing down onto my mat. The crown of my head is reaching long. And 1 more. I draw the ball in. I press it out. Now hold this one. I'm in my little bridge here. I'm going to frog my knees in and press out. Hello. Bring my knees in. Press out. 2 more. Whole body here. Woohoo. 1 more. Draw it in. Press it out and lower back down. Grab back onto those weights and bring them up over your chest. And we're going to do a roll up here, eyes to belly, find that lower back, and bring yourself all the way up. Now stack your spine, and have the shoulders over your hips, okay? And we're going to pull the thumbs to our armpits and press back out. And we pull and we press. And we're sitting nice and light on the butt cheeks. Feel like you're flexing more at your hips. Ear, shoulder, hip in a straight line. I'm supporting the weight, pressing out from that armpit muscle. Pull it in for 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Flip those palms and lower the elbows to your side. Now I want you to reach out in front of you and then bring it back down. And I inhale to exhale. Lengthen, scoop. Don't start to get lazy and start to slouch. Pull that belly in and up. Think of the crown of your head holding up that ceiling. And we're going to do 4 more. Here's 4. Good. And here's a 3. 2 more. And 2. Last one. And release those weights. Okay. Bend those knees and grab onto the ball. So we're going to put the ball, I'm going to cue right and left, put the ball behind the right leg. Okay? And I'm going to have my hands grab onto that leg. Another leg is going to lengthen. And I'm going to come back. Right leg, lower back. So I have my right leg with the ball. My hands are on my shin. And the other leg is reaching about 45 degrees. Now I want you to take the hands behind the head. Okay? And all I want you to do, and you gotta make sure that ball is not gonna be in the way of the other leg. I'm gonna bring my straight leg up, my ball leg is gonna tap down, and then retrace your steps. Ha. And I lift up and down. My back has to stay in one position, and that's lower back to my mat. If this hurts your neck, you got to put your head down, right? You got it. If that head is up, eyes to belly, shoulders off the mat. 3, don't go faster. 2, now hold the leg up, just my toes of the ball foot are on that mat. I'm up and over. Now take the opposite shoulder as the leg is up. Rotate towards it. Come back to center. Rotate. Now try to have the shoulder off the mat. How is that possible? I'm curling up into my center. I'm making it harder. And when I come back around, I'm trying to keep my shoulders off my mat. You got it. And 2, good. And 1, and release. Let's switch the ball underneath the other leg. Press that leg, it's free, out to 45. Make sure that ball has room. Then I'm going to bring my straight leg up. My ball toes touch the mat. And I come back to that starting position. I lift up, opposition down, and lower. That bowling ball should be heavy on your torso. And if your head is lifted, you can't be here. That is not an option. It's up and over that top rib cage. Shoulders off the mat. Inhale to exhale. Inhale to exhale. Hello, belly. Woohoo. 3, 2, freeze. Now take that opposite shoulder as a straight leg. Twist, back to center. Rotate, back to center. Are your shoulders still off the mat? Are you trying at least to curl up and over and then rotate? Woo. And we go 4, and 3. Give me 2 more. Here's 2. You got this. 1 more. And then hug both knees in. Place your feet on the mat and take that ball into your hand. We're going to bridge up and place that ball under our pelvis. All right. Take a leg up in a Pilates stance, and then add the other leg up, and now I got a whole Pilates stance. 2 heels kissing, 2 sets of toes turned out. Take your right leg down to about 45. At the same time, bring your left leg towards you. Keep both legs straight, toes are reaching long. Switch from the core. And switch. I want you to feel that belly moving these legs. And the shoulders are relaxed. The neck is relaxed. That's it. Try to keep those knees from bending. You're sliding your toes along the ceiling and then down the wall in front of you. 4 and 4. 3 and 3. 2 and 2. Get ready for double straight leg lower lift. Both legs come up to 90. I'm in my Pilates stance. I'm going to lower. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale. 2, 3. Now, do you notice anything happening in the lower body when those legs are going away from you? By my 3rd count, my legs are completely wrapped from seat to feet, and my sitting bones are also wrapping, and that supports that lower back. So you got to make sure the glutes are firing and the legs are wrapping as you're going further away from that center. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, and bring it up. And 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go out of a little bit of an order. I'm going to go into a corkscrew. That's not next, but I'm going to throw it in here today. Let's take the legs away from the screen, circle down, go towards the screen, and back to center. Reverse. Towards the screen, down, away, and hold the breath. Inhale to exhale. reverse, inhale. So you always want to start off small. See if you're able to control that movement, and then you make it bigger from there. Because if we're starting off real big and our pelvis is moving all around and our hips are moving all around, what is the point? We'll do one more each direction. Trying to follow you guys, but I can't figure out who's going which way. Okay, I'm just going to pick a way to finish. Inhale, 2, exhale. Hug those knees in, separate the knees as wide as your shoulders, and draw those knees towards your shoulders. Give those hips a little bit of a break. We already did an oblique one right after single leg stretch, so we're not going to do more obliques unless you want to. So we'll take those feet down, and we're going to bridge up, hold that bridge, slide the ball out, bring it all the way behind you on your mat, and both arms now are back there. Lift up those hips. We're going to inhale for nothing. Exhale, articulate your spine down. Lengthen, lengthen, scoop. I'm taking my time because I know there's a spot on my back that I just don't get it down very well. And then once you're all the way down, hug those knees into your chest. And rock yourself up. And we're going to take that ball towards the fattier part of our inner thigh so we can press into it. So if I'm way down here, I'm going to have to take my legs closer. I want to keep my legs further apart. They're as wide as my mat. I'm just going to slide my ball here. I just want some activity for my inner thighs. Okay, it's important for those hips. So we're going to do a spine stretch here. So the back of my knees are pushing down. I'm reaching my arms long, and I'm connecting my shoulders to my back, both this way and this way. I'm going to inhale up as tall as I can. Keep my arms parallel. Exhale, draw my chin to my chest. And as I'm going forward, my navel is pressing back. And I'm keeping my lower back up against that wall. Now I'm going to just gently press into my ball, squeeze my seat, inhale up. That's all from the belly. Exhale, peel. So my chin goes to my chest first. So I'm going to show you what I don't want to see because as I look out, I see a little bit and it's going to change the exercise. So your first movement shouldn't be from your back. It should be from your neck, right? And what I saw was that as my first movement. But really, I'm starting with my cervical spine. So I just start with my chin towards my chest. Then my shoulder blades come off, right? Then the rib cage is starting to come off, but that lower back is staying against that wall. And then peel yourself back up. And again, the head's the last thing that comes up. And we'll do one more. We inhale first. Exhale, chin, shoulders, right to the mid-back. I stop. Hold it here. Lower the hands and grab onto the shins. And then bend one knee in at a time, keeping that ball between those thighs. Is that possible? Let's go to the outside of our thighs, make more room for that ball. Balance on your sitting bones. And we're going to slowly start to zip these legs up, and I'm still pressing into that ball. Now from here, all I'm going to do is press into the ball and a little release. I can't completely release. My shoulders are down. My hands are as high up as I can go. Tight hamstrings, your option would be here, right? But eventually, just like me, I had to eventually come to here. Yeah, trust me, my hamstrings, I couldn't do this for a long time. Shoulders are mounted, fire the core, inner thighs, glutes, and I go 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more, flex the feet, reach the arms, we'll lower the legs, and then we'll bring the spine up and open to your T. Okay? Now I want you to twist towards me. Twist. I'm still tall. Exhale. From your oblique, from the ball, I squeeze it. I rotate around. And I exhale. Look at your back hand. Inhale up. My neck should always be in line with my spine. And I reach and look back. I come up. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Keep those feet flexed. Keep the back of the knee pushing into the mat. We'll inhale up. Exhale, hold this one. See if you can grab onto the outside of that foot. but keep that opposite hip weighted. Scoop that belly. Bring it up. Inhale. Rotate. Exhale. First I saw. Then I grab onto the outside of that foot. Anchor the shoulders best I can. Scoop that belly. This back butt cheeks got to be pushing down. And I bring myself back up. And then I release. Okay, onto our stomachs. Yay. All right, so we're going to take it to our swan. So I'm going to reach my arms all the way out in front of me. Back issues, take a wider stance with your legs. Okay, if we're okay, sitting bone width apart. Now right now, it's not a break. It's not a break from my core. I'm pulling my belly button away from my mat. I'm watching. Reach those arms long. Forehead rest on the mat. I want you to start to roll that ball towards you by the shoulder going down towards your heels. Then you lift up. The belly button stays on the mat. My neck is in line with my spine. It's not hyperextended. And as I come back down, I pull my belly button away from that mat. Roll that ball first. Connect the shoulders to the rib cage. I start to come up. My arms stay straight. My shoulders glide down. I squeeze my seat. And I lower back down. Exhale. And let's just do one more. Roll that ball towards you. Melt those shoulders. Lift up, belly button on. And I'm bringing it back down. Now grab that ball and put it into your back hand that's furthest from your screen. So I'm not holding my hands on top anymore. I'm holding it on the side. Okay? Get into the screen. All right. So I'm going to lift up my head and chest and my arms. And that ball is going to go with me. Now it's in my back hand. I'm going to bring it around. Hopefully you guys have room behind you. And then circle back around. And now reverse that. Reverse. So maybe go at different times if you need to. Otherwise, I just caused a bunch of chaos. Reach back. Here we go. Rope them back in. And one more. Note to self, don't swing the arms around anymore today. Okay, and release. Let go of the ball and stretch back into child's pose. I'm sorry. Stay with me. All right, bring it back out. Grab that ball. All right, so we're going to go into our forearms. Modified plank would be walk your knees back, but make sure the hips are low. We don't stay like this, right? Full plank, I'm off my knees. Okay? All right, so I'm going to take the ball into my front hands, my hand closest to my screen. The opposite knee, if I need support, will come down to the mat like this. If I don't need to modify, I'm here. So that front hand is going to bring that ball straight up. I'm in a straight line. Yep. Now, thread the needle through, follow it, bring it back up, and then come back onto your forearms. Now, my opposite hand is going to take the ball, which means my opposite knee can come down. So I'm going to show you modified this time. I'm going to drop that knee down. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to hold it up here. This is modified. I'm going to thread that needle. I follow it. I bring it back up, and then I come back around. So I either have two knees on my mat right now or no knees on my mat. That was modified, okay? All right, so let's try it again. Turn towards me. Grab that ball. Bring it up. Thread the needle through. Bring it back up. Back onto your forearm. Switch hands. I can switch that leg out. I lift up. I thread underneath. I bring it back up. I come onto my forearms. One more time. Remember, if I'm twisting facing my screen, the back knee is what goes onto your mat. I thread through. I follow it. I bring it back up. I come onto my forearms. Last one. I lift it up. I thread and bring water out of the rib cage. Bring it back up. Come back here. And then lower your thighs to your hips and flatten your feet. Push off your forearms. My shoulders are down. My belly button is not on my mat, but my hips and pelvis are. I cannot not push off my arms. I start to collapse like this. I want those shoulders down. I want the legs together. And I want pressure on that ball. My right foot, I'm going to kick my butt. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, and 1, 2. 1, 2. One more each leg. 1, 2. 1, 2. And stretch back. Scoop that belly. Round the back. I'm going to take that ball with me so it doesn't roll away. And I'm going to stretch nice and long. Nicely done. Okay, so we're going to flip onto our seat. And we're going to lie back, and we're going to do some more bridges. But this time, we're going to do a single leg bridge, okay? And this time, my ball is up over my chest. You don't have to use the ball. You can have more anchors and put your arms down at your side. So my legs are 1 fist width apart. Shoulders are down. Core is engaged. There's a glass of water on your pelvis. Dump it onto your navel. Curl that pelvis. Lift your bum. And then come up into that bridge. Now I'm going to take my right knee to a tabletop. And then from here, I'm going to straighten it up. I'm going to press a little deeper into my ball. I'm going to lower my seat for 1 count and lift up. My shoulders have to push down and lift up 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. Down, up, 4. Down, up, 5. We're going to 8 in case you need to know. 6. Yes. 7. And 8. Now cross that ankle over that quad. Let that knee fall out and lower down that bridge. If you want a bigger stretch for the hip flexor, draw that foot towards you. Yes. And then put 2 feet down on the mat. Ball comes back up over your chest. La, la, la. Hang tight. All right. Bridge up for me. So 2 feet are down. Bridge up for me. Yep. Tabletop, the opposite leg. Ah. Lift that leg straight up. I'm losing everything. And here we go. Down, up, 1. Down, up, 2. Down, up, 3. Squeeze that bum, 4. Press those shoulders down, 5. Down and up, 6. Down, up, 7. Down, up, 8. Cross that ankle over. Let that knee fall out. Lower down the seat. And then draw that leg towards you. Beautifully done. 2 feet down on the mat. Straighten those legs and rock yourself up. So I want you to take that ball and I want you to place it between the ankles. Boy, I'm really tangled here. Okay. I'm going to get you moving. I'm going to readjust myself here. So flex your feet. The ball should be pressed between those ankles. Okay? Take the arms out like a T. I can't even get this untangled. Oh, well. It's one of those days. It is what it is. Is it on your hair? Oh, yeah, it's tangled. I'm never going to get that out. All right, press into your ball. Don't lose me. Now, I'm seeing this, and we probably feel like, oh, yeah, we're sitting up tall. I want you to feel the weight coming up lighter, okay? Shoulders are melted. Think of the ceiling starting to lower, and you're trying to hold it up with the crown of your head, yeah? We're going to inhale up. Now, give me 3 exhales to your screen. 1, 2, 3, without your feet shifting. Inhale tall, start center, and then we twist again, other side. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, don't feel your feet move, and twist. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, exhale. 1, 2, 3. So each time's a little further. Some winding up, winding up, winding up. Come back home. Last one. Wind it, wind it, wind it, and then reach forward and pull your torso towards your thighs. All right, onto our sides. Oh my, time is flying. We're going to put the ball between our ankles, okay? And we're going to sort of be doing a passe as well as a side leg lift, okay? So I'm going to start with my legs in parallel, and I can come down and I can either prop my head up or I can lay on my arm, which your head has to touch something, okay? So I'm in my Pilates stance. The bottom rib cage is pulling away from the mat. I'm not dead weight on that mat. I'm going to slide the ball into my passe and press it out. So let's just do some more reps here to get this going. I want some resistance. I want the belly to feel like it's pulling that ball up that leg. I want the hip opening. And I want the leg lengthening. So I don't just stop once I think that leg is straight. I try to keep going and lengthen it a little bit longer. Does that make any sense? It is possible, you know. And we'll do one more. Draw it into a passe and then roll it out. Now I'm going to try and lift my legs up and then lower. Now make sure you're not doing anything funky with the shoulder, right? Like don't be going, yep, I'm lifting that leg, because we're not lifting it from the shoulder. We're lifting it from that core, yes? And we go up for 2, down for 2. So if you're hitting up before I am, you could be rushing. And we lift it up for 2, and then lower for 2. Again, this is staying light. Good. Now I'm going to hold this one up, do my passe, press it back out, drop it down. Okay? Lift it up, do your passe, let me watch. Roll it back out, drop the legs down. Lift up, roll that ball. Don't lean back, don't lean back. I'm seeing people kind of hip on top of hip, lift up, roll the ball, take it out, drop it down. Now hold your legs up. Okay? Now keeping your legs up, if you can, circle the legs forward. 1. Round to come up. Round to come up. Round to come up. Round to come up. And 3. And 2. Let's reverse it. And round to come up. Round to come up. So it's back, forward, lift. Back, forward, lift. And we go whoop, 4. 3. 2. And 1. Now keep the ball between the legs. Keep your legs lifted, but roll onto your stomach. Make a pillow with your hands. My legs are still lifted off that floor. I'm trying. Keep that ball tight. I'm going to squeeze that ball for like little heel beats. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Keep squeezing. Keep your belly button pulling away from the mat. Relax the shoulders. Yes, and we go 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Stretch back, child's pose. Woo, wasn't that fun? Just a little different version of side kick series, which we didn't kick at all. All right, other side. So if you can get there with the ball still between your ankles, good for you. If not, just grab it and get there and put it back in. Okay. So we're going to start in a straight line, and my heels are turned in, my toes are turned out. You can have the head propped up or you lay straight out on that arm, but your head must touch something, okay? All right, so remember the rib cage that's on that mat is nice and light. I've got my hips stacked, and I'm using my free hand as leverage to press into that mat. I'm going to roll the ball in for 2, and then lengthen it out. Draw it in. Can you feel your belly moving with that leg? It's scooping in and up. And I don't release it here. And I draw it in and up. Try to make sure you're not leaning back. So you've got to have both hips stacked as best you can. Sometimes I like it when I go against a wall because it keeps me more honest, right? Yeah, one of those workouts is coming one of these weeks, that wall workout. And we lift it up. 3. Stretch it long. And 2. Good. Now give me 1 more. Now my legs are long. Pull it in strong. I lift up. 1. Be mindful of where your hips are when you're lifting. You want to feel it all on the side of that body. You got it. Leverage, I kind of push my hand firmly into the mat as I lift my legs up. Aren't these fun? Yeah, lift and lift. 2 more. Lift it up. Now we're going to hold it up. We're going to roll it in, out, down, up. Roll it, stretch it, down, up. Roll it, stretch it, down. Watch that top shoulder. Roll it, lengthen it. Now stay up, let's circle forward. Round to come up. You better have your booty involved in this. It's not just the core. This is a hard movement. It's small, don't go crazy. 3, 2, 1. Let's reverse it and reverse to come up. Round to come up. 3, 4, and I go 4, good. 3, love it. We're not going to do belly beats again. Aw, darn. Okay, and release. Come on up and turn to face your feet. I'm going to keep the ball between my ankles. I'm going to grab back onto my weights for some teaser work. Oh my, we're almost there. Okay, do we feel like we've done anything today? Yeah. Yes. Okay, walk the feet out. Weights are optional. If you don't have weights, palms are still facing down. And we're going to press into the ball. We exhale. If you can't come all the way down, maybe put the ball behind you and stop when you hit the ball. The weights do not go behind you. They stay up over your chest. Nod the chin to your chest. Find that lower back. Now we peel. Inhale. 2, 3, my arms into a diagonal. Now press into your ball. Melt the shoulders and eyes are on the belly. So eyes start to the navel. Then they go up your thighs and out through the fingertips. And then my eyes retrace those steps. They go to the thighs, to the belly button. Okay, let's add on. Draw the chin to your chest. I'm going to inhale. On the exhale, I'm going to lift my legs up, put them back down, squeeze the ball and roll back down. Now keep going. If that hurts your back lifting those legs, should you lift the legs? No. Eyes to belly. We peel up. We pause. Find that scoop deeper. Lengthen the legs. Come back with the toes onto the mat and roll it back down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Eyes to belly. Find that lower back. You keep hearing that. It's so important. Inhale up. Now on this one, lift the arms with the legs. Retrace your steps and lower back down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes to belly. Find it. Inhale. Arms and legs. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to have a little more fun here. Options, options. Eyes to belly. Inhale up. Now on the exhale, take the weights down. Okay, that's my exhale. If you have weak abs, tight hips, issues with the back, come onto your forearms and draw your knees in. Okay? Next level, I'm going to reach my hands behind me. I'm going to draw my knees into my chest. These are hip circles. These are not easy. Press the legs out. Okay? Now we're going to circle towards the screen and come around and lift. And then away from the screen. And we inhale, modified. You can have the knees bent, right? Modified. I told you to go into your forearms and draw the knees in, right? Around, come up. One more. Around, to come up. Place your feet down. Grab one hand behind the thigh, other hand behind the thigh. Roll the rest of the way down and hug your knees into your chest. So we don't do those all the time. Keep the ball between your ankles. Roll over onto your stomach. If you need to take the ball out to get there, do so. Okay, swimming. Reach those arms long. And when I say long, I want them an extension of your shoulder. So they should not be to the corners of your mat. Okay? Unless you're a big guy with big lats, you have to do that. Okay? Do we have anybody in here like that? Where's Al? It's not here today. Okay. All right, so we're going to lift everything up off our mat. Here we go. Hold it. Now, connect the shoulders to your back. Take your right hand higher than your left. Keep the ball tight. Now, just keep switching just the arms. I inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3. Crown the head is long. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Belly's in strong. 2 more sets. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the ball tight. Last set. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Stretch back in that child's pose. Oh, we love the child's pose. Sit on that ball. Sink those hips towards those heels. Feel like I'm pressing down the lower back deeper towards your heels. Now walk your hands further out, and I'm going to have my heels turned in. And I'm going to press out into a plank. I'm going to hold this here. I'm going to squeeze into those armpits. I'm going to draw my belly in. My back is holding up that ceiling. I'm going to lift my right foot off the mat. My left heel is going to flex, flex, put that foot back down. Other foot lifts, flex, flex. Now you got to be like a beam of steel from your head to your heel. Right foot up, flex the left heel twice, put that foot down, and lift the other foot up. Flex, flex, and I want you to lower down to your knees. Stretch back into a child's pose and release those hands behind you and curl the fingertips towards the wrists. Grab onto that ball and put it underneath your right hand. So I want you to bend your right elbow away from you and turn the palm so it faces you and my pinky's on top of my ball. I'm going to thread through. I'm going to follow it. That's an inhale. Exhale, bend your elbow and bring it back out. And again, inhale, hips stay still, please. Exhale. One more. I'm going to inhale and exhale. Switch sides. So my palm that's with the ball is facing me. My pinky's on top. I thread through. I inhale. Exhale back around. And again, I look to where that ball is going, but my left hip does not go with me if I'm going with the ball to the right. And I inhale, stretch, and I exhale. I want you to come to a high kneel. I want you to take that ball to your right hip, and your legs are just a fist width apart. And bring that left arm up right next to your ear so the palm is facing you. I'm going to slide my ball down my thigh as I stretch over in my mermaid. Everything should be pushing forward, and I come back up. So you shouldn't have your butt sticking out like this, right? We're tucking everything in, zipping everything in and up. I slide that ball down on an inhale. I feel that stretch coming out of that left side of my body. Come back up, exhale. And one more, I lengthen, I go over on an inhale and exhale back up. Put that arm down, put the ball to the left outer thigh, bring the right arm straight up. Roll that ball down the thigh, feel like that right hip is staying against a wall and come back up. Can you feel your glutes and your hamstrings engaged, holding you in that position you should be in? And then we exhale back up. And one more, I inhale. And I exhale and put that arm down. Take your right foot forward in a 90-degree angle. Reach the ball out in front of you. If this is a big enough stretch for your hip flexor, stay here. I'm going to bring my ball up, and that leg is going to lunge forward. Yep, so as far as I can go. Now I want you to throw, don't really throw the ball, but pretend like you're going to throw the ball behind you, and you're going to follow it. And then retrace your steps and bring this leg back in. And then my left leg will come forward. And I start into a 90-degree angle. And as I lunge forward, my ball is going to come up. You can stay just like this. I'm going to pretend like I'm throwing the ball behind me. I'm going to follow it with my eyes. Yes. And I bring it back. Retrace your steps. Get rid of your ball. Take your hands on that mat. Curl the toes under and pike your seat back. And I'm going to walk my feet one step forward to get my heels completely flat on the mat. I'm going to lift my right heel and then switch, lift my left and lift my right and lift my left. Now both heels are down. I want you to walk your hands, keep the arms straight, keep the legs straight towards your feet. Keep the hands down the mat. Feel a nice little stretch in the hamstrings. I'm going to grab my hands behind my ankles and pull my torsos closer. If that's not for you, don't do it. Don't forget to breathe. And let the arms just dangle like a rag doll. Just let them dangle. Now scoop your belly in a little deeper and start to peel yourself up, and your tail is going down towards your heels. We do this all the time, and you have made it. All right, nice job. Woohoo!